Here's a portrait of Josh where it looks like he's about to do slam poetry.
I have a fidget ring. You can spin it. The JJ patches. We got anime Josh here. Flower crown Josh here. We have a pen. Magnet hoodie. Shablam! Ow! We love the Flowers tour.
Please make it loud for Josh Johnson!
Man, okay. I've been excited to come to Rochester, and I have been also nervous. I mean, I cannot tell if y'all have a mountain lion or not. Listen, I can only go off of what I've been watching. And what I've been watching, I'll just walk you through it. What I saw was a news report. This news report was of someone's Ring camera. I like that the whole community is involved in the surveillance. I like that this wasn't CCTV footage. This was, a person's Ring camera. And in the Ring camera, there is what might be, probably is, definitely looked like a mountain lion going for a late night stroll. Fantastic. The mountain lions have heard that Rochester is a place worth parking, and so the mountain lions have shown up, and one particular mountain lion was letting himself be seen. That ended up on the news where I saw it, and I was like, that does look like a mountain lion. But then the internet being the internet, there were plenty of people that were like, mountain lion, that's a cougar. Nothing makes me want to get into it with people than well, actually, that's so beside the point. A very big cat is walking around Rochester. Cougar, mountain lion, help me with the major difference. And then people started to. Initially, when the report came out, there was a shelter-in-place order, right? And I heard about the shelter-in-place order, and I was like, order? Who was fighting to get outside knowing there was a mountain lion out there? Who was like, y'all know I always wanted to pet one. This is so unfair. Every time something fun happened, I gotta stay inside. Shelter-in-place order is crazy. I saw people commenting online off the video, and I saw some people that were like, "Aww." Please tell me you understand that if that awe is taken to a mountain lion, that will be the last noise you make. Oh, so sweet. Just licking it. Let's go say hi. Aw. Aw. Wow, okay. And then from there, people contacted the zoo, and to y'all's credit, y'all's zoo was like, hey, nah. Everybody here's supposed to be here. Okay? We not just loose with the gates like some other zoos have been. We got all our cougars, we got all our mountain lions, every cat is here. And like the fact that this thing was just strolling as well. It's not like running around. Everyone that says they've seen it, it's like quickly become this like urban legend / mascot of Rochester. Because then the people that have seen it, and look, I'm not saying that if you've seen it, you were supposed to tackle it and take a selfie with it. I believe the people that say they saw it. I believe one person in particular that says that he saw it. I believe the man that your news interviewed that said that he saw it. This man should just be an anchor. The man is on the news and they turn and he went rawr. And I was like, go on. So far, this is very believable. He's like, it went rawr, and I was like, ooh, I'm good. No, none of that. No. I like how that's how you get away from wild animals. It's like, because admittedly, look, I'll tell you, as a black person, that's exactly what's happening. If you see a wild animal out in the not wild, you start conversing with it like somebody you owe a lot of money. Hey, look, no, hey, listen, no, look, no, please, no, no, bruh, no, thank you, no, please. Look, nah, later maybe, but no, not today. Oh, Lord help me, oh. This man gives this interview, he says he saw it raw, and then he was like, no, I'm not messing with you, no, thank you, no, I'm out of here, no, I don't mess with lions, tigers, bears, good policy. These are good things to keep in mind. I don't mess with any of them. And then my favorite thing about the interview wasn't that he was like, it could be anywhere. It could be in those bushes, as this man looked up. This is why this dude is like low-key one of my favorite people of all time, because I know exactly everything that's going through his thought process while he's talking to the news, and I also could put myself in this situation when he saw the mountain lion. No, I could be in one of these bushes anywhere. He stopped just short of what I probably would have said, which is like, it could be anywhere. Anywhere, these bushes up here. It could be in the house. It could be you. We don't know each other. Like, how we know he didn't stand up, tuck the tail, and was like, reporting live. Matter of fact, roll up your sleeves. Let me see how furry you are. No, my favorite thing about this interview was that this man gave the interview in broad daylight, explaining what he saw while holding a bat. It's like, that's why I keep it with me right now. That's why I got it on me. And I'm like, yes, but no. No, that's why sometimes I don't like the movies that Hollywood makes, that, you know, they put scenes out there that wouldn't go the way that we've imagined. You know, you put Idris Elba in one movie with a line, and now people think they could fend off a mountain lion with like not a thick bat. Like that bat looked like Pee-wee grade. That was not a slugger, you know. He was like, no, if it come near me, if it comes anything, no. And then y'all did not help the situation. Because then you started posting AI of y'all with the mountain lion. This woman said This woman said she heard a row and she looked and he was in the bakery, and I'm like, I'm believing it I'm believing it till I see the picture. I'm over here being like, man, this woman chill. This woman a straight gangster. She's not just a baker. It was in her store. And they showed the picture. I was like, y'all gotta stop playing. This is supposed to be the news. I was sitting there getting mad. I was like, all right, some of these clearly look fake, but a couple of them don't. Look, you can either post an AI image or you can interview the person. Don't do both. That's disrespectful to my man who's probably still carrying a bat right now. You're all over here scared him, making him think the mountain lion everywhere. No, look, don't approach a mountain lion. If you see a mountain lion, there's a whole number you're supposed to call so some like actual professionals come deal with the mountain lion. That was another little gripe that I had that I will admit. I was like, because I was in my head, I'm like, I'm coming to Rochester. What if I see his mountain lion? I should probably memorize this number. And instead of being in any way catchy, in any way memorable, this number isn't 1-800-SIGHTING. That would be too many numbers, I understand. But like this number is just 1-375-2280. Like it was just such a regular number. I was like, no one will remember that. You couldn't even make a number. You couldn't even make it like 1-800-GET-CATS. Not even try. Now I'm over here, I see the mountain lion, I don't have a bat on me, anything. I'm doing the regular thing, the thing that we know to do. No, I'm not messing with you. I'm not playing with you. Get away from me. Oh no, oh geez, right? And now I'm trying to call the number and I'm like, 1. Now I'm over here, somebody knows the number. That's insane. That's too earnest. Don't. That's we. Imagine though, because this is my thing. This is just my thinking. If I saw the mountain lion, right, and it was over here, not just minding its like ring camera business, not just going about his day. Maybe I saw the mountain lion. The mountain was like, "Hey, city ain't big enough for the both of us." I'm not gonna lie, just for the sake of brevity, I would probably call 911. But the idea that there's a whole extra set of numbers to call if you see the mountain lion makes me wonder that like if you call 911, they'll be like, a mountain lion? You called the wrong 911. Look, I'll give you the number, call, write it down. You can't transfer me? No, we 3 numbers, they're 10 numbers. You just can't transfer like that. It doesn't work like that. Yeah, I'm just praying I have a good time in Rochester. I don't see a mountain lion in the very high bushes y'all have. Y'all have been busy since I've been gone. Y'all have had a string, multiple robberies. See, I haven't even specified yet, and y'all have had a string of robberies of the mail. I was reading about it. Mail carriers are getting robbed, and that's just, I like an unboxing as much as the next person, but like that's truly insane. It's mail. It's more likely you stealing bills. Imagine. Oh, would have been great if somebody had robbed my house when I only had bills in it, you know? I can't even imagine what that would be like for the mail carrier, because it'd be different if you're like a Brinks truck. It'd be different if you went to wherever, because they go everywhere and they do these shipments from different places and stuff. It would be different if you went to like, some grocery store. They had to do their deposit. You show up with the truck. They always have like 2 of them there. And I used to think that was for security, but the worse the economy gets, I'm like, nah, that's so somebody doesn't quit on the job. That's so somebody doesn't just drive off with the truck. There's at least one other person there to keep you accountable. But they'll have the person who's like loading up the truck or loading something in from the place that they're picking up from, and then they'll have one person just sort of standing there, looking at everybody. I used to work at a grocery store. This exact thing would happen. Like, they would come with the truck and there would be somebody that looked at everybody like a suspect. You would have grapes in hand and he'd be like, what's up though? Like, you trying to, it's like, oh, I'm trying to, check out, get rung up. It's like, okay, all right, likely story, but okay. And then, they go off, they deliver it to the bank or whatever. I can only imagine if you work at the mail and somebody roll up on you, maybe they have a gun, maybe they don't, and they're like, hey, come up out of everything. I don't even think you'd be trying to be brave. I think out of genuine confusion, you'd be like, the mail? Yeah, everything you got. It's like, I can tell you right now, because of the route that I'm on, none of these about to be checks. You know what I mean? Because it's not even like they're robbing the mail carrier of like the best neighborhood. You just robbing the mail in hopes. It would be different if this was like the 1800s. It would, because back in the day when they robbed trains, those trains did bring like mail with them. And a lot of that mail was like, from bank to bank, or somebody sending something to someone that was precious. You had these great train robberies and everything. Now, you'd be sorely disappointed if you were to hop on an Amtrak. You're like, okay, everybody, this is a robbery. It's like, all right, first of all, let me tell you right now, every single car in that Amtrak, bathroom destroyed. So already, you get on the Amtrak, you'll be like, all right, everybody, this is a... Oh, one of y'all sick? What? Because people used to carry their belongings on them, and now it's just one belonging. Like, now it is, the phone's more important than the wallet. For some people, the phone is the wallet. That's why when some people forget their phone, I'm like, y'all didn't take life seriously at all today. Do you know what I mean? Like it's one thing if I forget my ID, or if I forget one of my like cards, or if I forget my keys or my AirPods. Like, you do the little check before you go, make a song out of it, right? It's very different if you decided, hey, I'm gonna put everything in the phone, that way it's all in one place. Some people even put the card in the little pouch behind their phone. I remember the first time I saw that, I was like, this is a horrible idea. Just attaching the wallet to the phone. And they're like, no, now everything's in one place. I'm like, yeah, you made it easy for the mugger. That's all you did. You still gonna be forgetful. I don't know why we think that like changing that thing will like change us. Do you know what I mean? My friend is very forgetful. But then he's like, no, if I just put it all in one thing, I'll be fine. I'm like, no, you'll forget more at once. Your day will be worse. Because then, I already saw this, right? You saw that they put the phone into the back of the case, into the wallet, right? All one thing. Then they were like, why even use a case? Let's just mush the credit cards into the phone, let everybody pay with their phone. So now a lot of my friends don't even carry credit cards. It's just the phone. So now when you forget your phone, I'm like, who are you? The phone was your ID, it was your credit card, it was your phone. This is what's crazy about losing a phone now, not just on top of not just on top of like how much we keep in it, but my friend locked himself out of his house because he had put his keys in his phone. Because you know they have that thing now where certain scan, you can scan and then just boom, click, and then the door opens. He did that because he was like, why keys? Keys are so archaic. And then pitched it to me like this. Why am I just walking around all day jingling? What am I, the crypt keeper? Why am I running around here, cling, 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 cling? No. That is entertainment for babies, all right? Only thing that keys are good for, put the keys into the phone. And then with the credit card, he was like, why am I just carrying around plastic all the time? Then the card expired. You don't even know the card was about to expire. So then you over here trying to pay for your groceries looking dumb. Looking over here. No, I swear, there's money in the account. I don't know why this is happening. You got the Brinks guy staring at you like, all right, you said it was all about grapes, but it looked like it's not all about grapes. So what's really hood? Now I put the card in my phone. I put the keys in my phone. I got everything all the time. And I'm like, all right, but what happens when you don't have the phone? Because you're telling me all this as like the reason to put everything inside of one thing. But now you're locked out. You're locked out of your apartment and you're sitting in my apartment. Somebody who uses a key to get in. I don't know. I feel bad for you. You gotta use this archaic technology. You gotta turn it with your wrist like you're from 2000 BC. And then that's the other thing that was crazy. It's like all these things that were for ease, he ended up being so much worse off because I told him, I was like, you didn't even have your phone on you to call me. You had to find me. Do you realize how much crazier that is? If you had kept it all separate, if you had diversified your belongings, and then realized, ooh, I forgot my phone. Let me use my key to walk back into my apartment and maybe send an email to a friend or let someone know I'm gonna be late, right? Or if I had, forgot my key, I now have a card and a phone to either call someone else who has the key or just go to, where we keep our spare key. You can go where you keep your spare key. Because you keep a spare key, right? You keep one physical copy, right? You keep one physical key and then you keep your phone key because one of those keys isn't dumb. And he was like, why would I have a backup regular key? Just so somebody can find that key, break into my place, and steal all my belongings. I'm like, it sounds like you have one belonging. It sounds like... I'm waiting for when they do that. I'm waiting for when Apple is like, no, put the couch in the phone. Just trying to get you to sit on your phone to be comfortable. And then when your phone cracks, it's like, oops, maybe that was a bad idea, but you will need a new phone. We're doing all this stuff and it's just doing too much. Doing too much. And then you get to the place where you don't even know why you're doing what you're doing. You get to the place where you're robbing the mail. Truly for what? At best, best, it might be like a blender. If you are robbing the mail and it is not an Amazon package, you're already losing. Because when I tell you right now, this mail that you're stealing, this like paper that you're stealing, is paper that the people it's going to don't want. Forget bills. This is like begging people to open up a new credit card. It's begging people to subscribe to a magazine they subscribed to one time. It's just asking for money. And then you do that, and then you open all that mail in your place, which is also against the law. You doubling up on felonies. What's the plan here? Because now you've opened the check. Let's say you got a check. Let's say somebody still works in 1990. And let's say that you got the check. What is the plan now? To go to the bank and be like, hey, I'm 8 people. But who knows? Maybe the banks in Rochester just cash whatever y'all bring. I have no idea. Maybe this makes sense. I know it's been spoken on already, but I am genuinely, I've been looking it up. I've been educating myself, and I'm fascinated at the origin of the garbage plate. Because here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm not here to talk about if it's good or not, or the aesthetic or anything like that. I'll get to the aesthetic, but like the name. I don't know. This is what I think happened. This is okay. Look, I'm pitching you what I think happened because we didn't have to get here. Anything that is good does not also have to have like a derogatory name, right? But I think that like something happened. Something happened where like I live in New York City. I live in Brooklyn, and New York City is very dirty. There's a lot of garbage out. No alleys, just street. I remember the first time when I moved to New York, because I moved to New York with very little frame of reference of what New York would be like. And so I moved to New York, and I saw the trash on the street, and I was like, oh, okay, I didn't know we were in a state of emergency. I had no idea. I picked the wrong time to move because the garbage, and piled up too, almost organized in its chaos, piled up about waist high at the sidewalk, you know? And then I realized that's what you do there. You put the garbage on the street. Like for a day, well, not a day, for like 3 days out of the week, we are the garbage. And somehow nobody has seen fit to just make an alley. Isn't this one of the oldest cities in America? At any point in time, somebody could have been like, look, we're gonna have to like eminent domain this one brownstone so that everybody doesn't have to live like the apocalypse happened 5 months ago. It will be a beautiful day in New York City. You'll be walking happy. And then you will, as an adult, I thought I smelled all the smells. As a grown person, I was positive I'd even smelled all the mixes. And sometimes you'll be walking in New York City, and it will be a beautiful day. It'll be a picturesque day. It'll be one of those days that they direct movies with the scene that you're seeing. It's almost like God cinematography. When you look around New York City, the sun is coming up. There's that golden hour, everything's shining off, the building's just perfect. Maybe you walking and you walk with somebody you love, you holding hands and everything, and then you even go to say, I love you, right? You go to express, because you get swept up in this moment, this beautiful, beautiful moment that somehow you can only experience in New York City. Plenty of places are beautiful, but this moment can only happen in New York City. And you go to say, I love you, but that means you open your mouth. And so now this person whose eyes you were looking deep into, you go, you can't even describe it. You can't even describe. The only thing that even comes close to it is if you like ran onto like an Amtrak train with the bathroom door open. You've never felt or smelled anything like that. You felt like you were walking through a cloud when it happened. And now you're doubled over. That moment has happened in New York City for as long as New York City has been around. Since its founding. Since they were like, no, just mush them together. No, everybody want to live here, mush them together. No, it's and on top too, let's build up. No, it means more trash, but it means more people to, pay more taxes for us to still not have figured this out. Look, it's a phenomenal idea. There's no way, no, you can't cut through these buildings. You can't tear something down. No, that'd be crazy. This thing is worth $2 million. This piece of property that nobody wants, that no one will ever want, is also worth $2 million. No, we can't make it an alley. That would be useful. And so, I think maybe somebody saw that entire situation. And they were in Rochester and they were eating at one of their favorite places and they were like, that looks exactly like what's in front of me right now. I've seen it and I feel like there were other names. Because there were other words available, you know what I mean? This is how I'll put it. It would be like if I baked a cake, right? If I baked a cake and it was a triple chocolate cake, right? So, and not just triple chocolate in the way that's like chocolate layer, chocolate layer, chocolate layer. Let's say I really took my time. I really did something like decadent. I really made like one layer almost like chocolate chip cookie. It's a little bit more brownie than it is like cake. And then the layer above that, I went a little bit like dark chocolate with it, right? And it had a little bit of filling in the sides of it that was also like something you don't usually get in chocolate cake. And then the top of the chocolate cake, very light. Very, like, not the, like, fondant type stuff, like very light icing and a very, like, moist top, melts in your mouth, right? And then you had this chocolate cake and it was actually, let's just say for the sake of the argument, the best chocolate cake you've ever had in your life. Incredible. You were moved by how good this chocolate cake is, because you never had chocolate cake like it. This might make you act different, move different throughout your life. You never had chocolate cake like this before. Never has somebody put chocolate cake on a dish and then you put fork to cake and then fork to mouth and cake to mouth and then felt this good about your life and yourself, right? It's never happened before. And so then you ask because now there's a different person. You're a different person when you had the cake, before you had the cake, and after you had the cake, right? You're about to move through the world with more love, knowing that there's cakes like this to be had. You're about to spread the good word of this cake because more people should have this cake. More people should feel this happiness, right? And you take a break from chewing, from everything, to ask me, what kind of cake is this? And instead of saying triple chocolate cake, instead of listing the ingredients, you ask me what type of cake it is, and I say, Dookie. called it Dookie, because, you know. No, because when you look at the plate, you know what I mean? No, it looked like Dookie, so I called it Dookie. That makes it more enticing, doesn't it? Have another slice of Dookie. That's when I garbage plates. They may have found signs of ancient life on Mars. And I don't know how that helps us. That's y'all did it. You know what I mean? Ancient life on Mars. Not current life. To my understanding, they have found signs that somebody used to be there. Okay. All right. Imagine somebody coming and being like, this place used to be cool. Because I've thought about that. I've thought about how, what if, let's just say, for the sake of argument, what if there was like ancient life on Mars? And like ancient beings, we're not talking about like little microbes or anything like that, like intelligent beings. Like obviously we would call them aliens and everything because they're over there, we're over here. But like they lived on Mars. And then even though they're intelligent beings, they didn't always act in a way that was intelligent. You know what I mean? They didn't take care of themselves, each other, or their planet. And maybe they built out systems that didn't actually benefit all of them, just a few. And then it got to a point where they were not just unhappy with each other, they were unhappy with their planet, a planet that they had basically ruined. It used to be dope, and now it's whatever it is now. And so then they worried that there was no way to reverse course. There was still time, but they were like, what are you gonna do? And so then over time, remember, this is ancient. Remember how long the universe has been around. They looked around and they were, in some ways, very intelligent. Maybe intelligent enough to find another place to live. And maybe they find a place, and maybe it's called Earth. And maybe they went to Earth and they, been on Earth for so long, they forgot where they came from, but being intelligent beings, they made all the same mistakes all over again. And so then there comes this day where they look around and not really happy with themselves or each other or their planet, and rather than hopefully not wrecking it or themselves, they're like, what if we went to Mars? Maybe there's something there. Because I do think that, I don't know, I feel like that's as likely as finding life on Mars. Because that is where we're at for the most part. There's a lack of belief in the idea that you can still build community, or the idea that people can still see each other as people. That's incredibly troubling and scary. I think that we rely now on communication that is more served to us than we seek out. We feel like we seek it out because we're discovering it in real time. In real time, you are discovering your For You page. In real time, you are discovering when you're scrolling, and you feel like because you're making the choice to scroll that it's the choice what you see next, but it really isn't. And based on a bunch of things about you, we think we're shaping the algorithm, and it's a high likelihood it's the other way around. Because based on how you've built your habits gets based on whether you get served contempt or compassion. And so then when it's time for us to talk, we have a very different view of how people are in the world. Like all of social, all of this stuff, every platform, it's just a mirage. But when you're out in the desert by yourself, which it feels like a lot of people feel that way. A ton of people feel like they're out by themselves, right? And you see this thing up ahead and you think you know what it is, and it turns out to be a mirage. It's very hard to convince anyone of that idea. And so that's what I watch more of than anything else. It's just the idea that like, I know what's going on. I know what people are saying. I know how people think, and I've got a big picture of everything that's going on. It's like, I promise you have a snapshot. No person, no single person online is one thing. No idea is one shared belief by everyone. And once again, no matter what you do, even when you think you're gaming the system, even when you're like, but I log out sometimes. I guarantee you, you're being served a certain amount of contempt and a certain amount of compassion, and it's all driven to keep driving you. You want to know what people think, you want to know how people are, you just talk to people. This is the only way to find out. If you want community, you build it as best as possible. And you build it in any way that you can. Some of that will include being online. Some of that, I'm not talking about like talking to your friend in a DM. I'm talking about like the way we see each other is so important. And the way we see each other is being like molded and affected without people understanding that they didn't actually get to participate in some of this. You don't know what impact you have to anyone that's like outside of your sphere. It's why I do my best. I'm not perfect, but why I do my best to be, hopefully, the best version of myself all the time. Because people are only gonna see a sliver. So if what they see is good, maybe they'll think the world's a little bit better. And if they see bad, they might think the world's a little worse. And it goes moment to moment. And no matter how much you try to put out, you can still get drowned out. But I know that when I see people, when I see anger, when I see hate, when I see love, when I see compassion, I know that I'm seeing all of it at one time. And then the real mix of it that's out there is different than what's in my phone. The same way you shouldn't put your keys and your wallet and your... Do you know what I mean? The same way that if you put everything in the phone and then you lose sight of what you're up to, you're lost. It's the same way that you cannot just trust that what you're seeing and what people are saying, and these people as well, these people, whoever these people are. Because that's the other thing about opinions online. It's the other thing about people online. We didn't vote for like a king or queen of online. Somehow any person saying anything is representative of everybody at any given point. That's not possible. I wish it was what was happening when it was like a smart person. But like, who knows? Like smart people usually don't keep you online because they're like, hey, you should live your life. It's very bad for business. when people live their lives and when they meet people and when they talk to people and they have real conversations with people, when they really sit down with people and they get to know people, that's scary. It's scary for everybody who benefits from what you're like when you're just on your phone. You need to be very, very careful of how we look at other people, how we judge other people, because I'm telling you right now, this thing will run away from you. You will leave the house thinking the entire world is the devil without ever having checked with any other person. Do you know what I mean? I've gone outside and I've talked to people, and there are people, I'll tell you right now, there are people that scare me. There are people that scare me. There are people that walk around on trash day in New York and yawn. That's insane. That's it does. I don't know if it gets crazier. That's terrifying. And I'm talking like hot summer trash day. Not today, Satan. No, I see that, and I'm not gonna lie, I cross the street. I treat them like they got a pit bull. I treat them like, you know? Well, yeah. Like I don't know. And sometimes you want to throw your hands up and just say, none of it's worth it or anything. And I don't know. I just don't believe that. There are some things that happening and your response, what you put out into the world, it is coming back. It may not feel that way. And maybe you're a kid and you're impulsive and somebody makes you angry online, so you get real nasty with everybody all day, and you don't even think about like the ripple effect that thing has. But like, people take online, obviously is not real, but people take real things off of it, you know. And I've talked about this before. I'm never stop talking about it, because I genuinely believe it from the bottom of my heart that the bravest thing you ever do. I remember I read this and it stuck with me, and I hope it sticks with me for the entirety of my life, because this is how people make money. This is how people control you. This is how people mess with your mind. This is how people turn you against other people. The bravest thing that you will ever do in your entire life is accept that there's nothing wrong with you. Nothing intrinsically wrong with you. There's nothing that is like that needs to be bought to fix you. There's nothing that you need to, and that is not to say that everyone is a perfect person. I'm not saying people don't need to work on themselves. I'm saying that like you are not beyond the measure of like the love and care that a person should receive, right? And then the second scariest thing you'll ever do in your life, and like some people can't do it. Some people live and die. They get buried without ever doing it. The other scariest thing you'll ever do in your entire life, I promise you, is change your mind. And like, I don't think that I personally don't think we're in a place where we're too far gone. These two things can still happen. It takes a second for them to happen. It takes a moment for either one of them to happen. That there is nothing wrong with you. Now, you're not perfect. You make mistakes. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing unfixable, unlovable about you. And then there's a world that looks different than the world in your phone, or even the world from your experiences. But I promise you, changing your mind will not kill you. But this isn't the world. It's not even your world. It's just what you're being served to keep you on the platform. But I think somewhere along the line, we start to feel like it's a window instead of a TV. Do you know what I mean? It's not a window. There's no way to know what everybody thinks. And there is no like side to reality. So when you're watching something, and when you're watching people react to something, you're seeing a piece of it, but you have to remember what you're being served. Like that's what's happening. Different amounts. Compassion, contempt, depends on how you look, depends on where you go. It's worth seeing the full picture for yourself. I think to fail to do that is to start to fail to be as human as you can be. You know, this thing that we have is this incredible tool, but like tools are also weapons. A tool can protect you, and you can use it to hurt other people. Like if you thought a mountain lion was like walking around all the time and you just had a bat with you just in case, it's like not. But these things are tools, and it's very important to remember who's using the tool. We think it's us all the time, and I think that is a mistake. To think that we use it, that it doesn't work the other way around ever. I love you all, and I appreciate every single one of you. I don't want to see. I don't want to see people destroy themselves because they thought that they had a mirror, they thought that they had a window, and they just had a TV. You know? So I appreciate every single one of y'all. I can't even describe it. I was so excited to come here and spend time with you, and that is definitely in spite of the mountain lion. So. Rochester, y'all been amazing. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all so much.
Hey friends, I'm going to be hosting The Daily Show again this week, October 7th, 8th, and 9th, Tuesday through Thursday. And I want to take a quick second to say thank you, because the last time I hosted, my very first time, so many of you tuned in, you told people, TiVoed if that's still a thing. So many people watched that we actually set a ratings record, and that was really, really special because I love Daily Show, I love all of you, and to be able to bring those two things together, to be able to set records your very first time doing something is special, but to do it with you was incredible. I look forward to bringing these Daily Show shows to you this week and the video, because you're already watching. You might as well keep watching. Just let it play. I'll see you.
Give it up for Josh Johnson!
I don't know if y'all have seen, but people are losing their minds. People are losing their minds because Bad Bunny is going to be doing the Super Bowl halftime show. This is incredible. The level of upset. You ever see somebody get so mad that you're like, this is just weird? Like, not even, we're past like the levels of angry I expect you to get, and we're into a new realm where it knocks me out of even any sort of reactionary response. I'm more just like, are you okay? One time, I was at a McDonald's, right? And this dude, he must have wanted the pickles that come with the sandwich. They come with the sandwich. He got a hamburger, comes with a pickle. His hamburger didn't have a pickle. And I don't know what else was happening in his life. Maybe he usually handles disappointment very well. Maybe they caught him on the wrong day. Maybe they, you know what I mean? Maybe this man's been through a lot, and this is finally the thing that made him snap. This is possible. everybody has their line, everybody has their limit. And some people's limit, you wish that your limit would come when it makes sense. Do you know what I mean? You want your limit to come when something actually happens. You know? Like, you want your limit to come when it's like, maybe you've lost your job, you don't know what you're gonna do next, rent is due, and your dad is passed, and it's just all happening at one time, and then you lose it. That's when everybody would understand you losing it. But instead of losing it when you're supposed to lose it, some people stay strong. They don't let on that they're about to lose it. And so then they go to McDonald's. And they order a burger. And then they realize their burger doesn't have a pickle, and then all the injustice in the world comes out all at once in this McDonald's. And so now you're screaming in front of a bunch of strangers because you don't have a pickle. And we all know that you don't have the pickle, not because you opened the sandwich to check, just in case you were like, hey, is the world fair today where there'll be a pickle on my sandwich? No, you know there's not a pickle because you ate half the sandwich and you haven't hit pickle yet. And so you finally open the sandwich, just give it a look. Be like, maybe this is a slippery one. Maybe this pickle's sneaky. You know, they supposed to put it on top of the cheese before the bun, maybe under the condiments, but maybe this one, oof. Maybe this one's sneaking in there between the meat and the cheese. Who knows, right? And then you open the sandwich, you realize you've had no pickle. You realize you've been looking forward to pickle this entire hamburger, and it was never gonna come. It was never gonna come. It was never gonna come. Just like your job isn't coming back, just like... No, it's all coming back in real time. It's like the pickle is almost this unintentional metaphor. Like, the pickle is missing the way your father is missing in your life because he's gone now. And so you just start letting it all out. It just comes out. You start screaming at someone behind the counter who is 17. Just someone who is beginning their life. Someone who has the whole world ahead. I mean, you used to have the whole world ahead of you as well. But then life happened and it came at you so fast you weren't sure what you were doing when you were doing it. And so now at home you have somebody that you're married to that, like, y'all are almost like strangers passing in the hallway, and you have 2 kids, but you don't really see yourself in them at all. And so now you wonder if maybe you were too hard on your dad and you wish you could tell him that, but he's gone. And so is the pickle. The pickle's not in there. The pickle is supposed to be here, right? And that's why you end up screaming at this 17-year-old at the top of your lungs to the point where people are recording you on their phone, which is never great. Your life never gets better after that. That's never the beginning of something wonderful. It means you're probably about to lose the next job before you even get it because you've lost your job and you're going to apply for more. You might even apply here. They won't hire you. But the next job you apply for, they're going to look this up. They're going to put your name in Google, and then this video will come up of you screaming at this 17-year-old that you accidentally called dad. And that's a tough part about not snapping at the right time. If you had snapped 15 minutes ago at home, everybody would get it. Somebody might even hug you. But now you're in McDonald's and they're just calling the police. No, it's tough. It's tough. What I'm trying to say is people have snapped over Bad Bunny doing the Super Bowl halftime show, a no pickles in my hamburger at McDonald's amount. And it is stressful to watch. I understand why the NFL is doing. The NFL is trying to expand its reach and everything. What better way than with Bad Bunny? But Bad Bunny is over here, like, he's defiant in a way that I think is very special. Because Bad Bunny is doing this, like, record-breaking tour right now. And he's not doing it in the U.S., you know? And I think a lot of people can't handle that. A lot of people are like, they're like, why won't he come Why won't he do MSG? Why won't he? And it's like, and you know, he's been asked about it in interviews, and he said a couple things that also are gonna are gonna irk exactly who he's trying to irk. Because they asked him, like, why aren't you touring? We looked at the dates. Where's Chicago? Where's LA? Where's New York? You know? And why aren't you touring in the US? And then he said, because it's just not necessary. Not necessary to tour in the center of the universe, according to us. Not necessary. Ooh, that was a gut punch. Not necessary. Don't worry, I'll be making plenty of money around the world. You know, the rest of the world. Like literally. And other people ask him, and he was like, "Hey, look, I don't do shows here right now because I don't need ICE hanging outside of my shows trying to do some sort of sting or something like that. I want my people to be safe and everything. In fact, if you want to see me bad enough, I'll be doing a bunch of shows in Puerto Rico. You can come to Puerto Rico." And plenty of people were like, "Puerto Rico? Where's that?" Because it's actually terrifying. It is like bone-chilling scary how many people who live in the U.S., like U.S. citizens, that don't know what land the U.S. has. It's like, I don't know what civics class or what is it just geography? How are we failing the youth and the elderly? Like, it's like, because it's not like you can just blame it on the kids. Grown people also don't know. This is crazy. All right, look, just bring it up to speed, okay? Real quick. And I'm not judging anybody because I might even have the dates wrong, okay? But in 1898, at the end of the Spanish-American War, America got Puerto Rico. So already, territory, Puerto Rico, right? 1917, Puerto Ricans gained U.S. citizenship. 1952, Puerto Rico became like a sort of commonwealth, which I guess a lot of people miss because, like, we don't have a king, or we didn't have a king, or like whatever. But like, just like simple, that's the status. So if you are Puerto Rican, you are a U.S. citizen, okay? And that is also why when people were upset, they were like, why can't somebody from America do the halftime show? And look. Listen to me. The people screaming that are coming from a very specific place. They have watched the Super Bowl religiously, and the last few years have watched it get blacker. And I understand. After Kendrick, they were like, it's black now. Is it finally black enough? You blacked it. You did it. It's been blacked. All right? That's enough. It's been black, and I watched it. I didn't get it. But it was black, and you had it. Can we have one? Because I don't think you're gonna get blacker. So it's gotta be our turn again. And they thought, surely, their time was coming. You know? After Kendrick, next one gotta be, Next one gotta be the one that does that song with the twang to it that you really like. Gotta be. Come on, we even look. You just did it. So I did all that rapping. I let rapping in my house just because it was a Super Bowl halftime show. That's as black as gonna get. I refuse to let it get any blacker, all right? These people were like, it can't possibly get blacker. And then they were like, all right, I'll raise you no English. Oh, you think you're mad now. Oh, we gonna make you pray for Kendrick. We gonna make you. Oh, Kendrick, please hit us with some symbolism. I don't even understand what's going on now. Oh, no, this is so funny. They're so mad. They're mad in a way that's like, I don't even know, like even if I wanted to help, I wouldn't even know where to start. Because what are you so mad about? It's like, because it's Super Bowl. It's Super Bowl. It's Super Bowl. It's not Spanish Bowl. It's Super Bowl. What's next? I love what's next, by the way. People love to take a thing that's actually happening and then do a hypothetical that'll never happen off of what's next. You see Bad Bunny's doing a Super Bowl halftime show. What's next? You gonna make Superman Mexican? That's what's next. That's definitely gonna happen. What's next? What's next? You know what I mean? What's that? Because it's scary. It's scary, you know? You watch the Super Bowl halftime show, these people might, by accident, learn some Spanish. Then what's next? If I learn the Spanish, what's next? If I learn the Spanish, what happens then? Because if I learn the Spanish, then when people are speaking Spanish, I'll know what they're saying, and there's no way they're saying anything nice about me. But no, people losing their minds. I can't believe it. Spanish? He's gonna speak Spanish? I'm gonna have to sit there and listen to somebody sing and rap in Spanish? I already had to listen to rap. You know what that was like for me? You know what that was like for me to hear rap in between the game I bet on? I'm gonna have to sit there and listen to somebody Spanish. I'm gonna have to sit there listening, watching the Super Bowl halftime show to Spanish. I'm gonna have to sit there with my guacamole and my chips in my lap, listening to Spanish. I am gonna have to sit there while I eat the tacos that I Uber Eats to my place, listening to Spanish. The idea that I could have a deluxe crunch wrap and have to listen to Spanish is crazy. Not in my America. Spanish? Are you serious? can't believe I'm gonna have to listen. I want all the Spanish in my mouth. I don't want it in my ears. Which is like pretty much been the approach of a large portion of the U.S. for a long time. So much of the culture, so much of what people like about a culture that they're willing to take in, they try to do as best as possible to the exclusion of the people that the culture is actually from, right? So you'll see how people of Latin descent have been treated in this country the entire time while we fall in love with more and more and more and more of their stuff. You know what I mean? And it's something that obviously happens to black people. It's something that's happened to Asian Americans and everything, but it's something that doesn't always get addressed is that if you loved what we make, then just love us. We made it. You know what I mean? Like, it's a crazy thing. It's a crazy thing to love almost every aspect of a culture and then meet the person who created that culture and be like, I don't know if I trust you though. I just kind of want all your stuff at my house. It's like, oh, I love that thing that you do. I'd probably just take it. What if I took it and then pretend it was mine? Wouldn't that be dope? What if I take it so hard that one day I tell you about it? No, I tell you about it and then I tell you you're doing it wrong because it's actually... No, what if you have your entire culture with a different understanding of everything, a different understanding of the world because it's from a different lens and it's also from perspective of a people who have built a very rich heritage and everything. And what if one day I stop by and I'm like, oh, that looks cool, I'll take some of that. And then when I say it back to you and you're like, that's actually not how you say it, I'm like, I think I know how to say it. All right, I'm very familiar with the Latin X culture, all right? Huh. Please, that's sweet of you to try to help me, but I'm well-versed. Oh. That's wild, because that was the laugh. All right. No, because you see, Bad Bunny moves in a way that's very intentional. And he has the loyalty of his fans and his people because of how he moves. Because there are plenty of people that truly, and I'm not saying this from a place of judgment, I'm saying it just from noticing. There are people who truly forget where they come from as soon as they get success. It is a very, sadly, once again, it's a very American mindset to have that as long as you get taken care of, as long as you're okay, you can leave whatever behind, And you're out now. And you're out, you made it out. And then you start to rationalize in your head, well, if I made it out, then people just have to do what I did to make it out. I'm not special. Then they'll be able to take care of themselves. And then all of a sudden you're gone. And there's not a real building of community. There's no upward mobility for the people around you. You just up and win, right? And look, it's also a very hard thing to do to try to bring everybody with you. Plenty of people have gone bankrupt trying to do so. You see us like, and I've done it from time to time. I'm not innocent of this thing. So once again, I'm not judging. But you see us with entertainers and athletes, we'll judge them for like going broke quickly. And we always make the assumption it was because they made stupid decisions. Maybe they bought one chain and then we're like, well, they were out here buying chains and so now they're broke and so. But more often than not, what happens and what a lot of people don't talk about, what a lot of people don't give them credit for is one of the reasons that they went broke is that this new money, it's a lot of money, but this new money tried to bring everyone with them at the same time. We're not able to set up systems for everybody to succeed. And so then everybody was broke in like 5 years' time. It's because of their heart that they were broke. It's because of their intention to try to bring everybody with them that they aren't in some mansion somewhere, you know? Essentially, you had something like that happen to MC Hammer. There were a lot of people that hear how much money MC Hammer made and then how much he lost, and they thought to themselves, oh, he must have been balling out or something. He probably deserved to lose all that money. Then you hear interviews with MC Hammer. He talks about his business and everything. He talks about the people that he hired. This man hired family. He hired friends from the hood. Just try to give them jobs, either to keep them out of trouble or just get them some money because he knew that they would do the right things with their money. But he's one man. He's one man, and eventually you can't have all these people on the payroll. You can't have all this money going out when not enough is coming in, when not enough is coming back, and so eventually you do lose everything. So it's an admirable thing, and it's a smart thing to say, hey, if you want to see me, come spend your money here. Come to Puerto Rico. You can come do the shows. Anybody can come. We'll have a good time here. You know? You see Bad Bunny thinking ahead. I'm not going to do shows in a place that has these like ICE raids and everything. Because also in Chicago, there was an ICE raid of this apartment complex. And in the apartment complex, they grabbed everybody. They grabbed everybody in the worst way. They zip-tied kids. They zip-tied kids. Some kids, you know, scared, crying, terrified. Nobody knew what was happening. They entered the building with flashbangs and everything, all because they said that they were there for, I think, like 6 members of some gang. Trend Day Aragua. I'm trying to pronounce it the way the president pronounces it. Trend Day Aragua. They were there for them. And look, I don't even know if that's true because apparently they didn't show anybody any warrants, you know? So maybe that's just something they said for later after they went ahead and did the raid, but they zip-tied, they held black and brown people alike, you know? And that's the other thing. It's like pretending that somebody's fight is not your fight is only going to work for so long. Like, pretending something is not your problem will make it your problem very soon. Because already Supreme Court has pretty much ruled that ICE can profile so they can grab who they need to grab, right? And it's like, okay, well, what does an American look like to the people who are grabbing people? You know what I mean? Because, I don't know, I feel like I have some pretty good diction. But I could probably still get zip-tied. You know, if we're going off of looks, it won't really matter that I'm like, sir, please, I'm an American citizen. Because you see what's happening. You see what's happening now with ICE in Chicago. You see what's happening even with the announcement that Bad Bunny is going to be doing Super Bowl. You have, what is it, Corey Lewandowski saying that ICE is going to be at the Super Bowl as well. And it's like, all right, but what's the point of that? What's the point? Because you know all of the criminal illegal aliens, because that's what they're supposed to be about, right? You know all the criminal illegal aliens every year that score tickets to the Super Bowl. You know. You can't swing a stick without running into a criminal illegal alien with Super Bowl tickets. You know criminal illegal aliens love the Super Bowl. They love rolling up to the Super Bowl. Got my tickets right here. And no other form of identification. You know criminal illegal aliens. They can't stop going to the Super Bowl. In fact, every year I'm like, when are they gonna do something about these criminal illegal aliens enjoying the game while I'm sitting at home because the tickets are like $10,000 just to see. Can't stand criminal illegal aliens having all the money. And using it on the Super Bowl. That's an irresponsible purchase. You're not even supposed to be here, Mr. Criminal Illegal Alien, and you going to the Super Bowl instead of hard-working Americans that can't afford to go to the Super Bowl. And we should know that, like, no one is coming to save us in that way. This is everybody's problem, and there's not enough of a travesty. There won't be enough rights that are violated. There won't be enough unconstitutional things happening that's just going to make the people doing it go, whoops. That's not going to happen. They're not just going to stop. You know, they zip-tied kids. Kids who were born here. Because this was never about what they said it was about. You know? I look at ICE the way I look at, like, season 6 of Ghost Hunters. You're looking, but you're not going to find what you're looking for because you made it up, you know? It's a very scary thing. Because don't get me wrong, look, plenty of ICE agents are over here masked up, top to bottom, can't identify who they are. It's not like they're wearing a badge. It's not like they have their name, you know, all over them or just on the front or anything like that. And some of them clearly built like stormtroopers. And then some are built like mall cops. Like there's a couple, I don't know if you saw that video of that young man that was running from ICE and hopped on his bike and rode away, but at a certain amount of running, you have to accept that you didn't catch the person. And as someone who had friends that got into trouble, I've watched my fair share of mall cop chases. And these mall cop chases, you know, I don't have them on my phone. They're from memory. They're up here. But they usually start a similar way. They usually start with, what's that? What'd you say to me? And then, just far enough away, they say it again. And so then, mall cop leans forward, and then whether you're on your skateboard or you're on foot, you start making some moves. And as you run, they run. And when they run, they realize they shouldn't run. It's a battle. It's a battle for them to run, and you can tell because the kick. Okay, I'm not a runner. I'm not an athlete in that way, but I'll tell you right now that like, okay. When you watch runners, when you watch like, you know, like a Usain Bolt, like an Olympic runner, and they start off and they have, you know, a foot up and everything, got the foot on, the hands down, looking up, and then I don't know why they put the butt up. You see they put the butt up, and they're down, but then they're like, ugh. I know this isn't true. I knew this isn't true, but when I was little, a friend told me that they do that so that they can fart before they run. It's clearly not real. But he's like, no, you don't want that air getting out and it knocking you off course. It didn't sound true when I was 7, but I did believe it for like 2 years. Because I was like, they do it every time. I don't know. Then, you know, get down, they get up, they do that thing. I'm not doing it right. They do that thing. And then they fire off the gun, and then they're they're like sliding at first, and then they just shoot off. They're running so fast, right? And when a mall cop starts to run, it's similar but different. Because he will do this, but that's because he almost fell. He got knocked off balance reaching for you. All right, so now and then he does like kick up a little bit. That is a fart. And then he starts to take off and chase you. The problem is, I don't know what happens. I don't know what happens when you take up the badge of mall enforcer. I don't know what happens to your right foot. I don't know what happens to your left foot. But they stop speaking to one another. And in these mall cop chases, I've seen plenty of them kick off, up. Into a food court table. And that's what it looked like, because my man kicked off on the bike and he wasn't even pedaling fast at first. Still seemed like he was talking. Do you know how embarrassing that is to run after somebody who isn't even breaking enough of a sweat to stop talking to you? And then they also ran after this man for too long. At a certain amount of somebody getting away, you gotta just let them get away. The clip became more embarrassing because they kept running. I'm like, now he on the bike, now he pedaling. You didn't catch him when he was pushing a bike. You're not gonna catch him when he's on a bike. There's a huge difference between those two things. Pushing a bike, he all encumbered. He gotta figure out when to like throw the leg over and everything. Now he's on the bike, he's gone. He's gone. The only thing that could make that video more perfect is that dude, And he pedaled all the way to the Super Bowl halftime show. Anaheim, y'all been phenomenal. Thank you so much.
Mira,